Let's get into our news of the week. I know a lot of you are curious about what's been going on, and it is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. They know mortgages, have known mortgages for well north of 30 years. VA, FHA, conventional, even a few little niche mortgages. They help you with all of that. The key thing to remember, though, two things. Number one, they're not a bank, so they can work with you and match you with the right lender for your individual situation. And number two, big on customer service. Answer your questions, look out for you, and really help you through the process, because most people only buy a few houses in their lifetimes, and it's about the biggest thing that most people spend money on. And so Eagle Mortgage really takes good care of you. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, Trenton, the big story this week centers on a piece of land in North Downtown. That is where Alliance Sports, which owns the Union Omaha soccer team and the Omaha Storm Chasers AAA baseball team, announced plans for a $60 million professional soccer stadium. It would be part of a $300 million 18-acre mixed-use project. It's going to be located, if it happens, along Abbott Drive, essentially between Abbott Drive and the Gallup operational headquarters. Construction could start as early as this fall, and if it starts then, the likely opening date for the professional soccer stadium would be spring of 2026. The stadium would seat about 7,000 people. And then Trenton, we'll get some analysis on this, but I also want to mention the surrounding development that is planned could have 330 residential units and 100,000 square feet of retail.
That would be amazing if this thing happens according to their plans. It would be another district, if you will, for Omaha. We like to talk about $100 million projects and $300 million projects. And I had some clients from out of town. They were looking at doing business in Omaha, and they wanted an overview of what's happening in Omaha. And it was pretty easy to go from the river on out. And this would be another one of those feathers in our cap. It's got a ways to go as far as approvals, and Union Omaha has done well in their soccer endeavors. They're talking about doing a female professional team, which would be great. I hope it goes, and I know that they want to get about $25 million in financing over the next so many years, as far as it's a incentive program for sports related activities next to retail and apartments and things like that. So let's see how it goes.
To help pay for the project, the owners are actively pursuing legislation, they're pursuing legislation that would include this project in what's known as the Sports Arena Facility Financing Assistance Act. That's a mouthful. And they are looking for cumulative support from that $25 million for the stadium project over the next 20 years. They have a development partner. I should have mentioned, in addition to the residential units and the retail, 140-room hotel is in the plans as well. Love the location. This is, if you can picture driving by the Gallup campus on Abbott Drive, there's a big expansive lawn, if you will. It would be right on there. The southwest end zone, we don't use that word in soccer, but the southwest end zone would be open, and so you'd have great views of the riverfront and the downtown skyline. So we'll see what happens. We do know this. There's a strong contingent of people in Omaha who love pro soccer. Union Omaha, as you indicated earlier, Trenton, has been successful, and it's particularly popular with young professionals, the Latino population, and so it could go a long ways towards one of those amenities we keep talking about that helps us retain young talent.
And it's a professional sport, which is nice. Now that we have volleyball going, we had the first volleyball game for the Supernovas. They had a lot of people. It was about 11,000.
11,624 to be exact at the CHI Health Center Omaha, and we're told that might be an all-time record for a pro volleyball match.
Hopefully that holds out. And everything from youth sports, if you look at what's driving development today throughout the metro area, there's a lot of youth sports facilities, now pro sports on the docket, and when we were Husker Raiders and YMCA and things like that, where your parents...
You're referring to your childhood sports league?
Yeah. Well, but what we've gone from, and when there's parents that have to pay for these things and travel sports and hockey and all this kind of stuff. And it's encompassed a lot of lives.
I can tell you all about that, parents paying for youth sports and related travel. A lot of fun memories, though. Good stuff. Well, switching gears a little bit, got a couple little construction things to share with you. First of all, the structural steel is now going vertical on the $110 million four-story behavioral health and wellness center, part of Children's Nebraska Hospital. This will be on the west side of the Children's campus, 85th and Dodge. It'll be a 107,000 square foot building, open in early 2026. It's a cool looking building and desperately needed.
And that's not the only steel that's going up in that area.
Are you talking about the Central Library?
Oh, yeah.
That looks great. Yeah, that right there on the south west corner of 72nd and Dodge.
It'll be awesome. And what they're not talking about is whether Swanson Library will stay at 90th and Dodge. And I don't think that immediate neighbors would be too happy about it, but could you imagine a residential tower there or something?
Yeah.
The views there, it would be, we've always talked about taking the 84th and Dodge, just to the south there, the Swanson Towers, which has been around for a long time, but a modern version of that has been tried out of Village Point and other places, and it's hard to make the numbers work, but could you imagine that location for a high-end condo tower?
Oh, totally. And absolutely, I'm sure the people in the Swanson neighborhood would love to see Swanson Library stay open, but having it that close to this brand spanking new, amazing, state-of-the-art, one of the best central libraries in the world that's opening at 72nd Dodge would be ridiculous. And so I think we all know that Swanson's probably gonna change. I agree with you. I don't know if you'd go too terribly tall there just because it's so close to the neighborhood, but you really wouldn't have to because of that hill.
Right.
You're up so high anyway. So what, maybe like you could do one of those classic 4 stories over one level of parking, a pedestal building as they call them, or maybe go a little higher.
I think you're thinking too small.
Okay. I like the way you think. We told you a couple weeks ago that the old Mid-City Bank building at 42nd and Farnham Street would be coming down. Well, it's down, gone, pile of rubble as of yesterday. MedCenter is getting rid of it for yet to be announced future expansion. Got some interesting changes coming to the south side of the old market, the Jones Street corridor between 12th and 13th Streets. A Bluestone Development has purchased the historic Fairmont Creamery building. That's the building on the northwest corner of 12th and Jones Street. Been vacant for a long time. No renovation plans have yet to be announced for that. But then right on the south side of the street, plans call for the creation of Old Market Gardens. This would be an urban mini park. It would include a lawn, play garden, rain garden, seating, walking areas, even a miniature outdoor cafe. There are 2 buildings on that block, the Bemis Art Center being one of them, and then a very small historic brick building. Both of those would stay and be incorporated.
Do we know who's doing that? It sounds like a philanthropy project.
Yeah, there is a name associated with it in the planning board documents, but I don't recall that name off the top of my head.
That'd be nice.
And that is, yeah. And I actually want to squeeze in one other thing. We're getting a little tight here, but I do want to mention that Governor Jim Pillen yesterday, along with local leaders, announced $234 million in recovery grants for various projects, 130 different projects in both Northeast and Southeast Omaha. This is supposed to spark growth, create jobs, anticipating about 9,250 new jobs within 5 years if all goes to plan. Couple of the big projects that have been funded, $39 million for the Q Street Corridor Economic Recovery Partnership. A lot of improvements in the Q Street corridor just west of the Kennedy Freeway. $25 million for the Adelante project, which would help Canopy South and the Latino Economic Development Council redo Plaza de la Raza. This is a very tired-looking public square at 24th and N. That would be made to look very amazing and very useful for the neighborhood. Wow. $10 million for the city's multipurpose sports complex and Levi Carter Park. The state already announced $35 million from a different source of funds earlier this month. And then $10 million to North End Teleservices to build a $65 million mixed-use project at 24th and Lake.
What about the North Omaha Industrial Project? Wasn't that part of those funds?
Is that separate, I think?
The airport industrial project?
Yeah.
I thought that Justin Wayne, the legislator, was big on that. But
I'm pretty sure that's a separate project.
Like anything
Could
else,
be wrong.
Especially with public funds, you want to see these projects well-planned and well-operated.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. I think what we will see, though, is it will translate into a lot of development activity in the Northeast and the Southeast quadrants, which is nothing but good for the future of Omaha and its economy.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.